We're live, everybody.
Hello.
So behave. So everyone that's on the live stream, sorry for being a little tardy. Nature was calling, and yeah, I had to do that. And then also, if you want to join us live on the Zoom, oops, why did that happen? Matt here. Okay. If you're on the live stream on YouTube or wherever else you're watching this, and you would like to join us here, link is on the community. I will not put it in the chat. I learned my lesson. So if you want, it's also in the email. You probably got the email as well. So I will not be putting the link in the chat because then all kinds of nasty stuff happens because people in the world suck.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
Sweet. So Chris, you got a new site?
Oh, I'm up. Okay. Give me a sec.
Oh, I'll give you a sec. Okay.
I was in Google Sheets hell figuring this out. Actually, this could be a really good tutorial, I think, like a video, just to show how to format some damn data. Because wow. It's
this is the data for the site for Stacks Guru. Okay.
For the transcripts specifically.
Why? So why Google Sheets instead of just like numbers or something like that?
I know Google Sheets better. The formulas, there's a bunch more I guess help out there for Google Sheets. At least I'm not a big fan of Excel. It's just I hate it.
Oh, I hate Excel too. That's why I said numbers.
Yeah, I mean I like numbers a lot because I don't know. I actually, you know what? I really like.
You're muted, Scott.
Numbers is handled on a mobile device.
VisiCalc, Joe. That's the one.
There you go.
VisiCalc.
Wow. That's old school. All right, let's see here. If you want, I can show you the thing. There we go. All right, so
Julie, do the thing. Anyone know it? Yeah, I guess no one knows where that one's from. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. What? No Avatar fans here? Man. I thought Chris would get it.
Actually, I've never seen Avatar.
What?
I know.
Oh my God.
I'm a disappointment. All right. So
he'd probably grow a ponytail.
Well, no, I'm talking about the cartoon, not the blue people. The cartoon. The Last Airbender.
Hold on, I gotta give Zoom permission to view my screen.
Sure. While he's doing that, I this week I installed the last Mac OS update. So the previous one, I'm on Mac OS 12 still. Oh well, Chris is done. So we'll tell the story after.
It just came up. All right. So if anybody hasn't seen the post on the community site, I have a new site for everyone to use. It's called Stacks Guru, and essentially what it is it's a way for you to search all the videos that we find on YouTube. Eventually, I'm going to do Vimeo as well, but I'm sticking with YouTube for right now because that's a ton of work in and of itself. And so what I did was I used a YouTube scraper to go in and pull specific information. One of which would be the ID for the YouTube video. And what's cool about it is the ID actually gives me the image and the video itself. But I needed obviously the title, the date, the description, and the most important thing would be the transcript. And so I was able to get all that into Total CMS, and here we go. We have a website where I can search for a video, or I'm sorry, search for a string, and I will be able to find it in the transcripts or the video titles or wherever else it is. So here I am on the home page. It's pretty simple. If I type in, swatches and hit search, and it might mess up a little bit. I'm still trying to figure one thing. Okay, good. It didn't. I think I fixed it. So these are all the videos where swatches comes up. And so then, you're in here. Obviously, it says swatches in the title. So if I click into this, actually, I can either view now, just, click there and watch it in a light box, or I can click into it And I have the video here with the transcript on the left. And yeah, so I can then come in here with Scott's page search stack and type in swatch, and it will highlight everywhere in the transcript that Joe says swatch.
Oh, that's clever. I didn't realize that. I didn't go that deep.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And so, yeah, so there's that. We can now search the spoken word and hopefully find the things that we were.
And then, yeah, what's cool with
for.
that is it shows you the timestamp,
Yep.
right?
Oh yeah, that was.
Look at that.
That
Very
was,
clever. Very
big one.
clever.
So, yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. And then, you can up here, you can see the filters if you want, but yeah, you can just filter from the homepage, see the latest videos that were added. And yeah,
I like the updates you did in the past day or so.
Yeah,
Nice.
it was a good idea on your part. So I'm very happy with that. And
we can work a little bit on the styling of that search box, though. I think.
Yeah,
it's a little bit different than the screenshot I sent you.
Yeah,
and that's because I was actually curious to see how, because I did some tricky stuff there, so I was interested to see if you were gonna completely nail it. We'll see.
Honestly, for some reason, I don't know which button I had originally in the search bar. I want to say it came from whichever template, but I could not get that stupid thing to style to save my life. So I completely threw it out and I threw in a regular button, a submit button, and it worked. It worked perfectly. In fact, all the styles that I had done to try to get it to the height and everything, it just worked on its own without the styles. So I spent like an hour on that stupid thing. But yeah, no, and so I hope that this site helps everybody. And
I didn't check the search results page. Is that feeds or is it blog list?
It's blog list for right now.
Okay.
I was just getting the homepage formatted today.
No problem.
I'll tackle the blog list or the feeds thing maybe tomorrow or the next day.
Okay, cool.
But it is a little slow right now, which is why Joe mentioned the feeds thing, because it's a ton of data. In fact, when I copy the transcript, just one transcript from a video into a cell in Google Sheets, it tells me that there's an error and it can't go over like 5,000 characters. So, and that's just one.
Yeah.
So bear with me, people. I am working on improving it.
If you're curious as to, so Chris had the blog list on the homepage, and I'm assuming the homepage, does it still are those posts that are there the blog list, or is that a feed?
The three that are there is just a simple blog list that only lists the latest three.
Oh, okay, interesting. Because it seemed like the page was loading faster. Maybe it was just.
Oh, it is. It's loading a lot. The homepage is loading a ton faster.
Okay. So interesting here. I'll educate you why I think in this case for this site feeds could be faster.
Okay.
I
mean, I believe you, but show me.
Yeah, I'll show you why. So if we look at this one, we'll just go to sources. Okay. I gotta reload the page. Oh, actually, interesting. Oh, let's delete my cache. Reload. Previously, this is the blog list.
Yeah, I love that macro for the number of videos can be put into the search bar. I was so happy when that worked.
Maybe I do. Oh, do you have load more turned off? Huh? Yes. Okay. That's why.
You want me to turn it on real quick?
No, it's fine. So, a little bit we're totally going under the hood into the weeds right now. Okay. So, when you have load more enabled, let's say pretend this blog list has load more. Okay. Total CMS needs to be able to load new posts, right? So what Total CMS does is instead of going to the server again and fetching the new posts and then figuring out which ones are the new ones and then displaying those, okay, it gets a little, it's a little tricky. And what it does is it actually on page load, it just gets all of the posts.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well, no wonder.
Now it doesn't generate the actual HTML, but it stores all of those posts, right? Okay. And until this site, that's never been, no one's ever had any performance issues.
You're welcome.
With that. And Chris's blog JSON file was like 6 megabytes of raw text. Okay. Therefore, all of that data is actually stored in the HTML, even though it's never displayed or actually parsed through. It's stored there, so loading more is just zippy because all the data is there. But in Chris's case here, he has 6 megabytes of text, right? And so the HTML for this page, which is normally, you know, relatively small, is 6 megabytes. Hence the page loaded a little bit slow, pretty slow. Yeah. So remedies for that is in this blog list, he's using a blog list. It doesn't have load more since Total CMS doesn't care about what's next or what loading more. It doesn't load any of that data.
Oh, okay. Click videos in the upper left. If you click videos in the upper left, there's a list that I forgot that I added that.
Okay. Well,
this has a load more on it. It'll load 20 and then the load more.
So if you see here, I clicked on that, I don't know, 20 seconds ago. And 10 seconds ago. It's still thinking.
Yep.
Okay. So there we go. So the reason I told him feeds might be faster, and actually I forgot that the load more doesn't load in all the data. So as long as you used a blog list without load more, you'd be fine too. Okay. But yeah, so it's load more that's killing you right now.
Okay.
And feeds I recommended him to try feeds because I knew feeds wouldn't store all of that data. But so you can either use feeds, and then you still, well, with blog list or feeds, you still get all the sorting and filtering and all that jazz. So, and the search. So, I think you're okay. Actually, if you wanted the feeds search actually is a little bit more flexible. Okay. Because it allows you to do things like contains or doesn't contain. Actually, well, in this case, you want what Total CMS search is doing anyway. So I think you're fine with that.
And I'm not terribly worried about this right now. And the reason why is just because of what you said. The homepage, people will probably go into search right away for something.
Yeah. So the feedback I gave Chris was he had a blog list right here. And I'm like, well, you know what? People aren't going to really go to this site to browse through videos. They're, you know, the whole benefit of this site is to search, right? So I told Chris, hey, dude, just have a big, huge honking search box right there. And that solved the page load problem. Yep. As well as I just think it makes it more usable, right? Hell, then you know, at that point we could create like little search plugins for Alfred and shit like that. Oh, so man. You can like Stacks Guru and then your search and poof, it brings up directly the search results. We could totally do that.
Dude, that's awesome.
If you need help, I'll even help you build that, and then we can have a download link to it right here.
Oh, that is fantastic. Yes, just like we have for Fun Awesome 5.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yep.
Wow. Awesome.
So
yeah. Cool.
So yeah, anyway, there you go. There's a little behind the scenes. I liked how you changed up these into drop downs. I like that. Yeah. That was good.
Well, you said you thought maybe columns, and I was like, I don't want to, because I knew one would be like super long and
yeah,
and that would drive me nuts.
That was good solution for that. Yeah.
So yeah, it's hope it's useful.
Okay, guys, what else is cooking? Huh?
You have a couple things that you've done.
I got some stuff. Okay. Who here uses feeds?
Hey.
Okay. I shipped a pretty cool feeds update this week. Was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday. Maybe Monday. I don't remember. All the days are blurring together now. Okay. Let me share my screen. Go ahead and launch Rapid Weaver. So in feeds 1.6 I shipped this week, I added a feature that allows us to basically preload a feed. Okay. And I know a lot of people that use feeds, they want to use, let's say, the same data in multiple places on a page. Okay, maybe on in the menu, maybe they want to generate some links or a list of categories, right? And then they want to have, let's say, let's take a madeforstacks.com as an example. Okay. Let's say that I actually think I am using feeds for these category things. So here this looks through all the stacks and it finds all the types available and it creates this little drop down. And then over here it does the same thing. It finds all the developers and then it generates this drop down. And then here it finds all the available categories and generates that drop down. Then it goes through that same data and generates this entire feed right here. Okay, this grid. So right here, I potentially have 1, 2, 3, 4 instances of me parsing the same feed. I'm just doing different things with it. Okay. So prior to this week, it would actually fetch that data every single time, right? So if I wanted to generate this, it would fetch the data and then build this. And then if I were to do it here, it would go and fetch that data again, whether it doesn't matter if it was from a database or a CSV file or whatever, right? Doesn't really matter. It would fetch it again and then build this layout. And so we would do that 4 times on this page, right? For the same data. And that's not very efficient. So enter a new way of doing things. Okay. And let's show you an example of a simple example. So here we have, Kent needs in. We're going to let Kent in. Kent sounds like an upstanding gentleman, so we'll let him in, I think. It's always nerve-wracking when I'm sharing my screen and I let someone in because it's hard to manage while I'm sharing. Okay, so let's look at this CSV data. Okay, so inside this feed stack, I have 2 CSV pieces of data. Okay, and what these do is they just display a few images. Okay, super simple. This is the feeds demo project, by the way. Okay, so it based on that CSV data, it displays this stuff. Okay. Someone is. We're just gonna mute everybody really quick. Okay. So what if I wanted to, display this data multiple times on the page? Again, similar thing. How can we centrally load this CSV data instead? Okay, so if we go into there's now this new project file that says preload. Okay, so there is a new stack now called feeds preload. And what you can do here is in feeds preload, you can load in all your feeds just like you would inside of a normal feed stack. You can also do pre-filtering if you need to as well. Okay. So you can pre-filter and you can pre-sort so all your data is done and ready. Okay. And one important new setting in here is a feed ID. So you basically, I loaded in these 2 CSV files. I assigned it a feed ID of my feed. Okay. Then inside feeds, there is now a new one called preloaded feed. And when you add that, you simply give it the feed ID and it will then fetch this preloaded ID. Okay. Now, what's kind of cool here is you can actually apply new filters and new sorting if you wanted to. So let's say you import the data and you're globally, but then inside this feed, let's say I wanted to sort one way, and on a different feed on my page, I wanted to sort a different way. So you can just simply apply your sorts and whatnot directly into this feed stack, and it won't affect the global feed. It'll only affect the one that's local, which is pretty cool. Okay. And I'm not sure how many people are going to use this, but you can actually, let's say I go ahead and I load in these two feeds separately, and let's say they each have a different ID. I can preload multiple feeds into this if I'd like, as well. So I can have, let's say I had feed 1 and feed 2 or something like that. We could do that. So let's say on this particular one, I call that feed 2. Okay. So you can preload multiple feeds as well. But yeah. So there we go. That is feed preloading. It's a really cool feature for people that leverage feeds a lot and are pulling in data multiple times on the page. This is going to be a great performance increase, as well as kind of centralizing. We don't want to, dry is a principle, right? Don't repeat yourself. If you've never heard that. So we definitely want to try not to repeat ourselves. And so we're centralizing this data point so that we can just load it once on a page. Pretty cool. Any questions on that? Is it clear? I think it's pretty simple to use. The interface on preload is exactly the same as what we've had in feeds already, right? You just load in your feeds here instead of individually inside the feeds stack.
Very cool.
Yeah, it is very cool. Yeah. Okay. Next up is something completely new. I only have the video left to record. Okay. And let's go look at a demo product page here. Oops. Apparently I don't know how to spell. Feeds files. Okay. So this is a new pack for feeds, and it is for files. I kind of gave a small preview of it last week, and I've added to it a little bit this week for the launch. And you actually can go to this webpage. You can purchase it now. You'll get it. The only thing I have left to do is record a video for it. So the video on this page is for the main feed stack. And what does this do for us? This allows us to create a file browser. Okay, so inside, let's go ahead and show you this actual file here, or this demo. Okay, so in this demo, I basically inside feeds, there's now a file feed. Okay, and you give it a folder. Right, and in that folder, it'll look for folders or files. In this case, on the demo, I'm actually displaying files and folders. You'll notice the icons are slightly different. Okay. And you can also do ignore rules. So you could ignore files and folders with specific names, or you can ignore all folders. Okay. So if you want to show all files, but you don't want to show folders, you can do that. Okay. Now, once we have our data feed, let's look at what sort of data we have available to us. So let's just look at that really quick. So here, I inside feeds, I enabled the data preview, and we can see for every single file and folder, the type of data that we have. Right. So we have the name, we have the base name, which is essentially the name without the extension. Okay. Then we have the full path to the file on the server. We have a new one called path link. And this is something that's useful if you wanted to link to a folder. Okay, it makes it a little bit easier. I didn't have this last week, so this is something I added to make things a little bit easier. And I'll show you what this path link is useful for in a little bit. It's useful for folders, not necessarily for files. And then we have the type. So is it a file or is it a folder? So down here, we'll see we have folder. Size is the size in bytes. Okay. So how many bytes is that file? Modified, that's the timestamp that this file was last modified. And then the extension. Okay. So it gives us the extension of the file. So let's go ahead and look at how we built some of this stuff out in Twig. So I'm going to show you how I built out this file browser. Okay. Right here, how I built this inside Twig. Okay. There's some cool stuff in this demo for Twig as well. So there's this feeds demo file is full of all of interesting little Twig stuff. I have an entire live stream on Twig if you want to check out some of that. Okay. But here we'll notice the file list. As I said, for files, I have one icon, and for folders, I have a different icon, kind of show you a difference between them. So basically here, I have a little Twig if statement that says, if type is file, then I link to it. Essentially, this is inside it's a button. And inside the button, I just have an SVG file that is that file icon. And at the very end of the button label, I just put name, right? So I put in the name in there. And then I link to the path. Okay, so the link just goes to the path of the file. And then I have this little checkbox that says force download. And that allows me to, whenever I click on the file, it just downloads it. So pretty cool. And then I have an else statement here. So if it's not a file, then I know it's a folder because that's the only type. So we either have file or folder. That's it. So if it's a file, we have this. Else, I know it's a folder. And the difference here is I put in the SVG for a folder, and then I put in the name as well. And then here on the link, instead of path, what I do is I do path link. And that's a special thing for folders. And what that does is it instructs basically feeds to drill down into that folder. Okay. So you see when I clicked on this, when I clicked on the file, that downloaded it. Obviously, you can't really do that with a folder. So here I go ahead and click on a folder, and it gives me, and we drill down into that. So I can drill down into another folder. As you see, it's hierarchical. So I am now 2 folders deep into this file browser, and I now see a bunch of images.
Man, that's cool.
Okay. And if you notice, when you go into a folder, there is also a back button. Okay. This is handled through this other stack called folder backlink. And that's available inside the feed stack. But as it says right here in edit mode, this particular stack is meant to be taken outside of feeds. Okay, so what I do is, here's my main feed stack. And this folder backlink, it does a couple things. It gives us one macro that we can use. So you can add whatever button you want into here to create a backlink. And essentially the link, you use the macro of back. Okay. And then it'll basically, it has to figure out what the backlink is depending on what folder you're in. So it's constantly changing. Okay. So it's not something static that we can do. So that's why we have a little macro that we can put in there. And you can put this wherever you want on your page. It should not be inside of the feed stack itself. It should be outside of it though. Okay. And it's also smart enough to know when I'm not inside of a folder. So right now I'm at the very top level, the back button isn't displayed. Okay. So it's smart enough to know that it will only display the back button when I'm inside of a folder. Okay. And that's all done automatically for you. If you look, let's go back to how I built this, this 4-column browser here. So we kind of looked at this first column, which is just a button and it downloads the file or it links inside the folder. We have a column 2 just displays the type. There's nothing fancy here. All it does is display the type. Is it a file or a folder? Then in this third column, I'm displaying the size in kilobytes. Now for folders don't really have a size. So what I did here is I did logic where that same if type logic over here, I just said basically if it's a file, let's display the size, which I wanted kilobytes. Therefore, I did size divided by 1,000, which actually that is wrong because it should be 1,024. And I said that last week and I didn't fix it. Bad me. And then basically I pipe it to round because I want a round number, not a decimal. And then I put KB at the end for kilobytes. Okay. And then in the else statement, I just put in 2 dashes for, so something is there for, I just felt it would be odd if that was blank. So I just put in 2 dashes for a folder. And then over here in the header, basically I just take my timestamp, which is the modified macro, and then I pass it to a twig date formatter. Okay, so I do modified pipe and then date with the format string. And if you want details on how to do that, again, check out that twig live stream. There's the date format. Okay, and that outputs the actual modified date of the file or folder. It's pretty cool. And at this point, if you notice, it is responsive. Okay, in this case here, I mean, you just build out whatever your responsive layout is. I did it with these 4 columns. What I decided to do is I just broke it down. So the file is on small devices. It's just all one width. And then the supporting data goes below it. Okay. But build your own layout. The layout's all you. Okay. Build whatever layout you want. Any questions on the file browser? It's pretty cool. I like it.
That is really cool.
It turned out, it ended up being a lot cooler than my original vision, which is always nice. If you're curious on this demo, actually, this is a inside of an iframe, which is pretty cool because what that does is it makes it so the page doesn't reload. Let me show you a quick example of, hopefully I still have it online. Here. Okay. Here's an example of a page that is not in an iframe. And what you'll notice is, I mean, it's really fast because this page is slow or small, but it does reload the page. Okay. So when you click on a folder, the page will reload, the entire page will reload. And it'll, yeah, that's how that works. But when you use it inside of an iframe, like I do here, this iframe is reloading, but we don't necessarily visualize that, right? So you click on it. Oops, that was an image. Click on a folder. There's another one. Here's Photo Pro, right? And my page doesn't load. It just kind of reloads just this iframe, which is pretty slick.
How does that impact an iframe with height? Is it readjusting the iframe height, or is it?
No. So
reloading
right
at that
now,
height?
luckily in this demo, I mean, the initial view is always taller. So if you look at that, I mean, it doesn't adjust, because if it were to adjust the height, then all of this content would come up and that would be weird, right?
Yeah.
So, but if you were to go into a folder that is larger, it would scroll.
It would scroll. Okay.
Yeah.
But still, it's still pretty nice in an iframe. It looks good.
Yes, I agree. I didn't realize how cool it would be inside an iframe until I built this last night. And I was like, oh, wow, I kind of really like that. That's really slick.
Yeah, I think that's
See,
a
with
good
me-
solution.
Yeah.
With me, like the way I build websites for my customers, all of their logos and everything is warehoused in an assets folder. And so when I design their logo inside of Affinity, I'm always exporting out to that folder. So even on my computer, the published folder, because I don't use RapidWeaver, I do everything through Transmit, that whatever's in that asset folder is synchronized with their website. So this now allows me to give my customers admin access to their live logos, all their live files. Like this is awesome, because like the admin side of the website now you can have a dashboard. It's like edit website or view my files, and you could have access to even total CMS images. Like you could upload images and hide the thumbnails, so that all the thumbnails and all of the square images are hidden.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like this gives them full access to all of their pictures. It's genius. This is a brilliant app, my friend. I'm extremely excited for this.
So if you're curious on how the iframe is done, I'm using my offsite stack. This is my Weaver Space project. Okay, so here is just an offsite that links to, I have 2 different demos. I have this demo and this one, originally I had them both in the same iframe, and I found that separating them out into two different iframes just made this demo work a lot better. Yeah, because both of these were going off the same folder. When I clicked on one, it would actually change both, because they were both on the same page. So having them work independently of each other just for this demo made sense. So here I have two offsite stacks that simply just load in that demo, right? And if you're curious, I mean, behind the scenes, it's just, let's go to one of those pages, right? So if I just go to import/demo.ph, oops, .ph, man, my fingers are fat today. There we go, right? Here's that. This is the page, right? So I can drill down into it. If you notice, that page does refresh, but it's just a simple nothing page that only has that one demo on it. So pretty slick. Okay. Okay. So that's that. That's how the magic happened there. All right. I had a thought while I was talking, and now I don't remember what it was. Well, let's keep going. If you'll notice down here, I have a different layout, right? So this is feeds files layout. So basically this view here is the same, it's displaying the same exact files. Okay, now let's go. What the heck happened here? All right, so I'm displaying the same exact files here. This is just a different way of showing the data, right? So I just wanted to show you how you can kind of use this to, you don't necessarily need to have it as a file browser. You could build a gallery with this. To be honest, like it's just, maybe you have a folder full of images and you display thumbnails and you click on it and it opens it in a Lightbox or something like that, right? I mean, it really is very wide open. It just is, you have files on the server. If we look here, like even here, if I go to PDF embed, okay, you might not, this is actually my PDF embed stack. Okay, now it is small because it's in a little grid, but this is a PDF inside my PDF embed stack. And then I have a little download button. Okay. So yeah, in this particular layout, it's interactive as well, right? I can drill down into any of these and I see all of the folders and I can drill down into all that stuff. Pretty cool, right? The data for this is pretty much identical. It's just, I just chose a different layout, right? So here we have the feed inside my grid cell. I have a little bit more complicated one because I want to add explicit support for PDFs. So if there's a PDF, it actually uses my PDF embed stack. And then I put in the path and URL to the PDF file. Else it assumes it's a picture and puts the image on the page, right? You can have all kinds of different if statements in here. And here I'm basing off the file type and the extension. So, right. So if type equals file, and then inside there is if extension equals PDF, else I assume it's an image. Okay. And then here I have just a link with a header with a little SVG icon. And that link sets it to download that file. And then obviously in this if statement, if it's not a file, then it's a folder. So if it's a folder, I just display this SVG of a folder with the name below it. And then it links to the path link that we saw previously, right? So we can have that interactive ability. And then right above feeds, I have this back button stack. So it gives us that back button. There we go.
Very cool.
It is very cool.
Feeds for the win again.
Yep. Yeah, it's slick. Any questions? Oh, one other thing I wanted to show is, so I do have, this actually shows off the resources folder on Weaverspace. And there are a lot of files in that folder that aren't displayed here. And let me just show you that really quick. All right. So this is the folder that's actually getting displayed. Okay. And if you notice, like I have Black Friday images, Cyber Monday images, my fave icons. I didn't necessarily want all of those inside this grid. So inside of the files, I glanced over it before, but there's an ignore rules. Okay. So in this, you can just give it a common delimited list of words to ignore. And if that word is found anywhere inside that file, it will ignore it. So fave icon, Black Friday, cyber, and at. I have some images that have all these Weaver Space versions of my logo at different sizes. So yeah, so I just give it a common delimited list of stuff that I want to ignore. And yeah, it ignores all those files for me and it won't display them. Pretty cool, right?
Awesome.
Yeah. And that is up on my site now. The only thing I haven't done is recorded the video. I'll probably do that this afternoon or depending on how I feel, maybe tomorrow morning. But
Well, I'm not buying it without a video.
haha. We have another pretty cool launch this week. Scott launched a pretty slick stack called F6 Brancher. You want to give a tutorial, a little tour of that, or maybe Chris can show his choose your own adventure. Oh, Chris is gone. You lost
Chris is gone. Hang on a second. Let me get organized. I didn't know I was being called on.
Yeah. Didn't know he was getting called on. Pop quiz.
So where's my project file? Okay, so let me find my share button here, get rid of a few things.
See some new fit. Matt, have you joined before?
I have joined before, yeah, just in the background.
Oh, okay.
now.
I recognized you. I thought I recognized you. I wasn't sure though.
Yeah.
Excellent. Is that a Jira in the background?
Is that a what?
A Jira? Your espresso machine?
No, it's a DeLonghi.
Oh, okay. I have one that looks similar.
Yeah.
All right, so let me find the button here. So this is, oh, that's not the page. This is the page. This is the F6 brancher stack I built. And what it allows you to do is to create branching multi-step forms in Foundation 6. So this is the first step in this one. And so you can set up the target, which is the step you're on, and then the field you want to evaluate. And then you can decide whether you want a case statement or a logic statement. And then what the operator is, less than, minus than, equal to, not like, whatever. And then the value you're comparing. And then it gives you the ability to add another and or statement. So in this case, it's or. That step, that field is less than 15,000. And it tells you over here the logic you're building. You can see it, right? As you're building your steps. So this one is using logic on, it's comparing two different things, right? This one down here, what is this one doing? So this one only comparing one thing, right? So there is no more. So if I could put another and or in there, and then it would pop down and compare more. And then somewhere in here, I have one that is a case statement. Where is that at? This one has a case statement, and a case statement lets you build out as many comparisons as you want. So this says, case it's Honda, go to step 3. Case it's Ford, go to step 5. Case it's BMW, go to step 5. If it's Toyota, go to step 6. And then they all have a default and else. So else, go to step 3, right? So it's here's the demo file, the demo for it. So the first one this is saying is I just put this up here so you could see what it is. If age is less than 20 or income's less than 15,000, go to step 6, else go to step 2. So I can just put in here. And so if I say my age is 18, then it's going to fail, right? It's going to come back false, and it'll go to, even if this one's true, right? So it went to step 6. But if I go in here and I say my age is 22, then it's going to go to step 2. And then step 2 says, if you're a citizen, it'll go to step 3. If you don't click on the citizen, it'll go to step 6. So I say, okay, I'm a citizen. And there it went to step 3. And then notice up here, it knows my name because I put it in there in the first time. That's a helper stack, or that comes with it, a companion stack called F6 brancher macro. And that lets you grab the data, the value from one of the fields on the form, or however many you want actually, and then use that in the text itself on the form, right? So let's say the rule on this one, if it's trade in, go to 1, or go to 5, else go to 6. So we have a trade in, so we're going to go next step, and then this is that case statement I showed you. In case it's Honda, go to step 3, Ford, go to step 5, BMW, go to step 5, Toyota, go to step 6, else go to step 3. So we can make it go back to step 3 here by picking Honda. And I'm not bothering to fill this stuff out, but so there, see, it went back to step 3 again. So if I pick BMW, it'll go to the next step. And that's how it works. So it lets you build out if else and case logic to control your forms. And then obviously on the last step, you would put a submit button or whatever. So that's kind of how it works in a nutshell. And then that macro thing I was talking about is just works like this, right? So I gave it a name. Here's the settings for it. It asks you for the input name, which is the name of the field, right? What you want to call it. You can call your macro whatever you want. I just kept it name. And then this lets you constrict it to a class. It'll only work in a certain class. And if you look here, I have 2 of them. I have 2 different ones. They do the same thing, but I was just testing that you could have more than one on and work. And so then you just pop the macro in your text, and it replaces it with, we all know how macros work, replaces it with the value of that field. Okay, any questions?
Very cool.
Pretty powerful.
Yeah.
It's
Sweet. Thanks, dude. That's awesome. People are gonna make some pretty slick forms. Chris, he made like a little, if anyone knows choose your own adventure books from the 80s or 90s, he created like this whole story, like create a story and click next and you choose where you want to go next. And yeah, it was a pretty cool little example.
I'm trying
And
to
Josh, if he's here, he's building out a super complex form for one of his businesses. Pretty slick.
I was looking to see if I had that
Yeah, the form I'm building is pretty complex. It splits into 4 different paths based on answers. I'm about halfway done it, so I'm hoping by next week I'll be able to show it off on the Hangout.
Sweet.
I was looking to see if I have the URL for Chris's form somewhere.
I think you messaged it to me once, or let's look on Discord.
I found it if you want to see it.
Oh,
You want me to put it in the chat, or you want to?
Yeah, sure. Put it in the chat. People can play around with it.
Here you go. So here's Chris's demo page. So I built like a little game type of thing with it. Kind of cool.
Or I'll quickly share it really quick. So yeah, it's just, put in your name. So, Joe, continue. And then it sees hello, Joe. So it brings in that macro, and it has a very, what was Zork, whatever, what was that game?
Yeah.
I don't even
Yeah.
know that.
Zork.
Yeah. Yeah. You can, click various things and just, it'll take you down different paths. It's cool. So anyway, you can play around with that. It's fun. He's put quite a bit of work into it, actually. Did a little story, and yeah, it's pretty cool. So check that one out. It's in the chat. Hey, this week Made for Stacks is now over 573 stacks are listed. Pretty slick.
Woo. Awesome.
573 stacks, and we have 30. I think it's 31 now. Yeah, 31 devs. I added a new developer I didn't even know existed.
Who's that?
It was Bit. Was a Bit something Bit Web. Shoot, Bit Web for you. He hasn't added his stuff yet, but he actually has a ton of stacks. And I'm like, dude, where'd you come from? Like, it's pretty interesting.
Kind of nice that like you're gonna be able to find all these people that probably would never have known existed and have them all in one spot.
Yep. I mean, he creates projects for Foundation as well. And I'm like, you think you'd like let me know? Like like marketing 101,
or join the community at least. And
yeah, exactly. Post some announcements, let people know you exist. So yeah.
Could you imagine if somebody is like that has like no marketing, but has like epic stacks, just comes out of nowhere? That site visibility is just going to shoot them through the roof.
I'm still really happy with that site. It turned out really, really good.
Some guy just hit my car in his door. He just looked in the window at me and said, sorry.
I don't. Oh, this Chris Powers guy wants to join. I don't know. He
I don't know
seems
about
kind
him.
of shady.
Really
Choose your own adventure, Joe. Say no.
Yeah, I don't know. I might need to boot this new guy out. Name seems pretty questionable. We were just showing off your Brancher site.
Oh, fun. Cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
That was fun to make. I mean, it's nowhere near, at any level of completion or any, it's just, I want to get it to work. But yeah,
building stuff like that really, hones our skill, like just, building little side projects that are just for fun. Like even the Stacks Guru thing, it's useful for everybody, but I'm sure you're going to learn a lot and just getting the experience of building something, know?
Yeah. No, it was, I mean, it's kind of like, when I wanted to really learn, what's it, Columns Pro, I built that LCARS, that Star Trek now, just to learn to teach, to teach myself. So
okay, yep. That was one thing Paul Russum was always amazing at, was just going off and building these little side things just for fun. Like it was just because he's
right.
like, I see this site, I want to duplicate it. Like, I think it was like British Airways website or something like that. Like he liked it and he wanted to completely replicate the homepage using, I don't remember what it was, but I think it was screens and a bunch of other stuff. But I mean, I think he even did a better job than their their team of web developers, right? It was nuts.
Yeah, it's like that one live you did with the Nat Geo website.
Yep. Exactly.
On that, so cool. I learned a lot from that, actually.
Yeah, definitely.
I'll still go back and referencing because I always forget how to do that square for the circle thing.
Oh,
it's like padding 100% or something like that.
Yep. There's other, I mean, you can always do aspect, now that we have the aspect ratio swatch. I don't think we had that then. You could just do aspect ratio 1:1 and border radius 50%. Boom. You have a circle. Yeah. Actually, I did an entire live stream on circles.
Yep.
Yep. That was actually a really good live stream. If you guys haven't listened to that one, that was actually, I remember that after we ended that, I was like, damn, that was good. Like, that was a really good one.
And now it's searchable. I think I haven't checked if that one's in there. So I lost a couple, but that's all right. We'll get them. We'll get them all.
Yep, exactly. Anyone got any questions or cool stuff they're working on? Any help that you need? I know we've reached the 1 hour mark, but hey, we're keep going, keep the train going.
Mhm.
And if you guys haven't joined our Friday hangouts, there's no stop time. We just go until someone collapses and we're like, I can't be here. I can't talk to you guys anymore.
I
Been
gotta
here
go
for
eat
5
dinner.
hours.
I know. I think the longest I've been on one is like 5 hours, maybe 4.5, something like that. It's a long time. There's a guy I'm trying to get to come to the hangout this Friday. I was helping him out with his site. He's building like this entire school management system using Total CMS, and it's incredible what he wants to do. It looks pretty awesome.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's nice. He's come a long way, but he needs to just hook it all up.
Okay.
You know, get it all hooked in together.
Nice.
Yeah, it's incredible. And Josh, I told him that if I can't answer it, I'm sending him your way.
I'll take it if you need help. No worries.
Yeah, I told him up front. I was like, he showed me a list, and I was like, confident, less than confident, not even close, confident.
Well, if there's anything like that, handle what you can handle and send the rest over.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, happy to always do the same back to you, king of toggles.
Yeah, that's what yeah, and no toggles in Stacks Guru, sadly.
Oh,
No toggles. I'm
achievement unlocked.
yeah.
I really thought I really thought all the buttons would be a little more orange.
Yeah. Well, I didn't want to go too nuts. Besides, Joe's new robot. That's enough for me for right now.
Oh, okay.
And I'm glad that link is finally where I bought it last night when you showed us that thing, and I was like, I'm buying it now. And it
Cool.
And it didn't work. The download.
Yep.
So it
Josh
out,
messaged me this morning. He had the same thing. He's like, yeah, dude, I got it. It's not ready yet. I'm like, sorry, soon.
Oh man.
So yeah, all kinds of good stuff happened this week. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last week too. Like it was just
last week too.
The whole community's on a roll.
Yeah. No, it's nice. It's nice. It's like we're all ramping up in the same direction, you know, to something great.
Yep, exactly.
Like,
I did
Joe,
the
you need to
PDF.
update. Joe, you need to update that radio template, like the SVG template. So I noticed a glitch in that template. You're making the opacity of the radio 0, so it still takes up space. So.
Oh, okay.
So when you were working on it on like a mobile setup, it actually is pushing over. So I found a way of just like doing a position and zeroing it out, like zeroing out the width and height, and then position 0. So then it eliminates all the space it takes. Because I had like, you know me, man, like 3 pixels off, and I'm like, what the hell is wrong with this?
Yeah.
And then I discovered that the hidden radio button was taking up space still. But yeah, if you position it out and zero out the width and height, then it doesn't take up any space.
Oh, okay, cool. Oh, Matthias, it should be available for download now. Matthias says he found the files pack already as well, and
it's just so eager to give you money.
Yep. It's a cool one. Like I said, it's definitely a lot cooler than I expected when my original vision of it. That interactive, like the whole file back button thing, man. When I came up with that, I was pretty chuffed with myself.
Yeah, I see it. Like I think Josh actually mentioned it, but like a you know,
How
some
you do
sort of
that, Joe?
intranet for an
Yeah,
employee.
exactly. Exactly.
I see it as like an intranet for employees or whatever, you know, or even, you know, students or something, you know, like that's
Mhm.
it's a cool thing.
Yep. It'll be great using that alongside like using a Total CMS Depot or something like that.
Mhm.
That would be really slick.
Yeah.
Just got to get my video crew working, you know.
I've been working on Stacks Guru. You're next. You're next.
Yeah, I'm pushing out. I've been working on my website to get it launched. Hopefully, I can get something done by this weekend. It'd be nice. And then it's all about making.
You're gonna
videos.
release that Cloudflare stack?
It's now a group of stacks.
Well, yeah,
And
I'm because you told me you were gonna do the other functions.
The first thing that will be released will be that Cloudflare. That will be my first one to release.
Matthias asked, can I make a file depot for each single blog post using no. So file feeds won't allow you to have a depot for each blog post. Sorry. That will be something available in CMS3. You'll be able to add whatever you want to whatever you want. But unfortunately now you can't.
Okay, thanks.
If you use layout rule, and you could have a depot per category.
Okay.
You'd have to pre-make all the depots though. But yeah.
You would have to pre-make all of them, yes. But that's one way of injecting additional files.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Or I mean, it's not the best. Like you can upload files via HipWig, but it's not great. Yeah.
Nope.
I understand. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't give you this interactive, the files thing. Unfortunately, you joined late. I gave a full demo. I don't want to make everyone sit through it again, but it's pretty simple to use.
I watched the recording tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You can watch the recording. I'll probably do an official shorter video, but I probably won't have some little insider tidbits that I showed off today in that video. So, this will be a good one to rewatch.
Thanks.
So, what if you used one of your CMS fields as where you could put in a keyword, and then that keyword you could have it tied to make all the depots, add a media field, and that word then becomes something tied to a depot.
Right now, macros
Like
won't work. Macros won't work in the feed thing, because it all happens.
No, you don't need to have a macro. Oh, yeah, I guess you would.
Yeah,
I'm gonna think of that. Just you wait. I'll build something.
Are you threatening us, Josh? Threaten away.
Always.
Is it dark?
All we do is
it
tinker.
dark where you are already, dude?
I'm now in a parkade.
Oh, okay, got it. Oh, dude, I found this video of this truck driver in the snow, and I'm like, man, this has to be Josh. I'll try to find it, and I don't know if I can show you, Peter. Probably not going to see it. Let me find this thing.
Hey, Joe, it's 77 Fahrenheit outside. I don't know what you're talking about with the snow.
You guys, it's too far away. This guy doing like S turns in a fucking like, it's crazy. Out here, he came around the corner like, and he just look at that.
Wow,
man, I was like, dang, that's some skills. When I first the video first thought, oh, this dude's gonna crash, but then he just nails the turn, and I was like, whoa.
Oh, man. That's awesome. Man. Hey Scott, you shouldn't feel so bad about me finding bugs with your stuff. I just found yesterday I found a bug with this AI writer that I purchased to try it out, and they've been shut down for the last maybe 24 hours.
Oh, yeah. Who's that?
What is it? Brain Pod AI. It's on AppSumo.
Hmm.
I got it because I want to try it. They say they can do bulk blog posts based on a CSV file of keywords. And I went in and all I tried to do was upload a CSV and hit go, and it told me I didn't have enough credits. And they're like, no, you have credits. Of course you have credits. In fact, we're giving you an extra 20 grand or 20,000 credits. And I was like, okay, cool. Still doesn't work. And then they said, and they were like, oh, we found the issue. We'll keep you updated. And now on their website, it just says page is under maintenance mode.
Oh, Jesus.
For the past 24 hours. Yikes.
Yeah, Pepper type I got off AppSumo. They tried to pull an El switcheroo. So they were, obviously, as part of their sales pitch for their lifetime plan, on AppSumo was, you get all future features, blah, 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 blah. So apparently they sold a ton, right? Because their site looked nice. And but they never implemented any new features, like ever. And then all of a sudden, magically, they implement a new brand that has all these new features. And then they're like, okay, everyone, we're rebranding to this new website. And we're like, well, we don't get any of the new features. We have to pay retail to get all this new features. They're like, oh yeah, because it's new. Or like, well, no, that was part of the deal. Like,
Hey, that sounds familiar. What?
Yeah.
What does that sound
Yeah,
like?
but we changed it. But we changed the icon.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's terrible. God, how do people? How do they think they can get away with that?
Yeah, I don't know. So, anyway, I got Super Machine. Who here recommended that? That was Brett, right?
Brett got it. I
Brett.
got it. Too.
Have you tested it? I don't know. It seems not great for me. I don't know.
It is actually the better of the ones that I've used.
Really? Okay, so I've never used any of them. Okay. And so I used this and was like, hey, it was slow as hell. It didn't work in Safari at all.
No.
I was like, yeah.
So usually when I'll type, so I have my lawyer, I'll be like, a husband and wife sitting at a table with their lawyer, and the husband and wife are arguing. Okay. That's the prompt. And it will spit out one of them. It was like 3 people, but they were all the same person. Just slightly different poses, wearing the same clothes, or like the face will be just kind of half there and then super cartoonish. I mean, it looks like a horror film, actually, some of these things that it generates.
I'm considering returning it because, like, I don't know, I really was not impressed at all.
Brett swears by it.
I know, dude. I was, before I did it, I was gonna like, dude, I need to hop on Zoom on you. You need to educate me because, this is not great.
No, even the ones where you upload a photo of yourself and have it, whatever it ties you.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
I see the images. They're like, we created all these images, and I'm like, well, they never created nothing like that for me. Like,
yeah. Good for you.
Yeah.
I'm happy for you. Good job.
Yeah.
You're not the one paying for it.
Yeah.
Oh man. No, I know. I don't think I think it's good stuff for like there's a podcast I listen to, and I know that they, for their cover art, they use image generators, and some of the stuff that they come up with is really cool. But for professional blog posts,
bye Matt, take care.
I don't think it's going to be anything viable, at least not right now.
Yep. I mean, I pay $30 a month for Adobe stock.
Yeah.
I get 10 images a month, and I don't even use up those.
Right.
And they have like super high quality shit, right? Stuff. Sorry, I am live.
And we have a label now. Great. Explicit label.
Yeah, there we go.
So yeah, I don't know if it's still there, but I got this, I think, last week on AppSumo. It's Yay Images. They have.
I saw it. Yeah, I remember seeing that.
I bought a deal from them about a year ago where it was a finite amount of images, right? Well, the one that I bought now is like, I think the one I got was 10 or 15 to 20, maybe even 30 images a day download.
Mm.
And so, yeah, I mean, it's ongoing. And
Hmm.
they have good stuff there. They have vectors and regular stock art and everything.
Cool.
It's nice.
I mean, what I pay for a year for Adobe stock is what I used to pay for one icon to be designed for me, you know?
Yeah.
So, you know, like the way I see it, if I lose some downloads every now and then, because they do a cure, but once you hit 120, like they just start expiring.
Right.
So yeah, I tell my kids, I gave my kids all the login. You want an image, just go get whatever you want for whatever at reason. So every now and then I'll see my image drop and my image count drop like 30. And I'm like, well, someone downloaded a ton of shit.
At least it didn't go to waste.
Yep.
So does it give you so many a month, Joe? Is that how it works?
Yeah, I get 10 a month, and then it accrues up to 120, and then they start, you can't accrue more than that. So that's why, like, when I did those robots, I had a ton of credit, so I just downloaded all those robots for feeds. And I was like, well, I'm going to lose these credits anyway, so I might as well just download everything, you know?
Yeah. That's where I got my yay images, where I got the little characters for that choose your own adventure thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I actually ended up, so you remember I showed you all those robots. I was going to use that pink robot, but I could not change that pink to save my life. Like, it was like way too pink. So I ended up using the yellow robot and made him orange.
Oh, okay. Huh, I wonder why.
If anyone's curious out here, I'll show you guys how I did it. I don't got nothing else to talk about.
Yeah. You
Let's
used
see, Pixelmator.
Yeah, Pixelmator. Okay.
Yeah, it has a replace color feature that, I mean, it makes it so super easy. The only downside is you can only replace one color. Like, you can't, like let's say I wanted to replace, so obviously here, let's turn it off.
I think you can, Joe.
Wait, what the heck? It merged. That's weird. How come it's, oh. That is super weird. This guy was yellow.
Did you flatten it?
Maybe I flattened it by accident. That's all good. Let's I'll just drag in a new one. All right, here, I'll just replace this orange. Well, that's remove color, replace color. So you can pick a color, and then you can replace it with a different color, right? So let's say I want to replace that orange with green, right? And then you can tweak things to, you know, to be various, you know, intensity or whatnot.
Huh.
And when I did the pink one, like, it was here. I'll go get the pink one.
Photoshop has a thing like that. Only it was it would allow you to kind of tell it how fuzzy it could be. You know what I mean? How close it had to be to that particular thing that you picked, that you selected.
I think this pixelmeter's brilliant. It's nice and easy for easy people.
Yep. Let's open up this one. All right. So if we go here, and I do replace color, and I select this pink, and we try to replace it with orange. Like, see, I mean, it does decent, except like around the nose, and I couldn't get that, because I guess that's a brighter pink, and then over here, just it never would work. So
what about popping up the range though?
Yeah.
Is that
no, it would get close, but I mean, I don't know, it doesn't seem right, and it worked perfectly on the yellow one. So
yeah,
but you should be able to save that one then and then open it.
Oh yeah, I could potentially save this, flatten it, and then replace the color again.
Yeah.
But so Sean, you said you could replace multiple colors, but I don't see how you can do that.
no, I was saying a range of colors. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I
when
lo-
you select, can you select in more than one area? That's how Photoshop would do it.
All right. No.
And then you can't hold down shift and like select another area.
Let's see if I can click this. Nope.
It doesn't show you what you're selecting either, does it?
No. Nope.
So in Photoshop, how it works is you get the little dancing ants, around whatever you selected,
Oh, okay.
and then
Oh,
you
you
can
can pick
you
like
can
a
hit
range.
shift.
Got
You
it.
can hit shift and select 20 different places, and it would just, keep
Yeah.
building it out.
Interesting. Pixelmator's remove background utility is pretty good. Remove. It isn't perfect though. I wish they had the ability to tweak it or to adjust it. So it's thinking. Let's see if it does it on this particular image. It does take a little while though, especially if Zoom's running, I guess. It's definitely slower with Zoom.
Wow.
All right, it did it. So if you look here, it removed part of this robot's arm, like inside.
Yeah.
The reflection. Yeah.
Yeah. So I liked this, but I actually had to pen tool it instead because it was removing parts of the arms that I didn't want it to do.
And even remove the shadow between the feet.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So really
So
cool
different
when
ways
it
of doing
works.
that.
It's magical, but it's not magical when it removes stuff you don't want because you can't get it back.
That's
There's
true
no
of
one.
a lot of programs. Yeah.
Yep. Anyway, a little bit of non-wrap weaver stuff there.
Can I ask you a quick question, Joe?
Of course.
So tried it in a markdown and an HTML stack. I'm messing with putting in the code for Cartland's new cart, and I get the button. How do I get the hover on it? In the past, I didn't have. Is that
What do you mean? How do you get the hover on it?
hover as far as to change it when you mouse over the button to change it slightly?
Sure. So the button, you using a Foundation 6 button or what button are you using?
I've tried it with HTML Foundation 6, the black circle icon, and I've tried it with the markdown.
But you want to change the hover on a button. Oh, because you're using the
Cartland
snippet
code
from Cartloom.
Right, exactly.
Got it. Okay, well,
Cartloom's making the button.
Correct.
yes. So I mean, the thing is, you don't use Cartloom's button. You use your own, right? So
Okay.
So I'll show you how to do that. Here, I'll just go to my site here.
Yeah, I guess that's going to get weird because they got the new ones got radio buttons to like choose options and stuff. So you're not.
Yeah. Okay. So
Do they let you give it a class?
yeah, actually, here let me go into let me move over here. Let me get into my Cartloom account really quick, and then I'll move it back.
I'm using the code out of that new beta one where they've got options and stuff now.
I'm on the same one.
Yeah.
Just stick a class in there in the HTML.
Yeah. 1 second.
You guys have a good one. I'll see y'all on Friday.
All right. Take care,
See you,
bud.
Chris.
Bye,
Bye,
guys.
Chris.
Chris.
All right. So you're getting.
I'm using the advanced one at the very bottom.
Oh well. Okay. All right, so you're using this one.
That one, yeah.
Okay. So if you see here, there's Cartloom add to cart. Well,
Right.
And well, you have a product that has options, huh? My product doesn't have options.
Yeah, that's the killer.
Yeah. I mean, so if you were to look for this particular one, it's just a class and then a URL on a button. That's all this is. Okay. So what you can do is just copy this URL, put it in a button. Here, let's go here. I'm gonna add a new
That's what I was
product.
thinking, but then it doesn't pick up your options, right? When you
All right,
add it
well,
to cart.
All right, let's do options. All right, so I have test shirt. Okay. And then we do options, and let's add an option, and I'm gonna do small. You have radio, you said? Okay.
Yeah.
And then how do you do choices? I don't even know.
Look down there at the bottom. They got it
Oh,
written for
okay.
the code.
Got
So
it.
that would
got
be
it.
size. Title would be
Size.
size.
Yeah,
And then the,
exactly. Size. So then I would do small, medium, large. Okay. All right. And then and then we go to our snippet. Okay. Or maybe I need to save before the snippet changes. Oh, there we go. Cool. Okay. So you got this bad boy right here, right? All
Yep.
All right. Oh, you can't select. You have to copy the whole thing. I don't like that. Okay.
Yeah, that's aggravating, isn't it?
Yeah. Because I was like, I can't select it. What's going on here?
I was going to say that Mike and I have been going back and forth so much. We've sent money to each other's bank accounts and everything, testing this thing out today.
Okay. All right. So let's go over here. So you've been doing HTML. Wow. All right, and let's just preview that really quick. All right, but it doesn't. How come it's not styled? Probably because I need to have some other snippet on the page.
You have to have their CL5 cart snippet, yeah, or their version 5 snippet.
Oh, but he has a bug in his snippet here. He needs. It has sandbox.cartloom.com in here. That's not what we want. That's what we want. TR wants in. Do I let TR in? Who is TR? I know. We'll gamble. We've been on a good roll today. A bunch of new people came in, so let's see how TR is. Okay. Regardless, I don't know why the styling isn't working, but I'll show you how you can migrate this into something more Foundation 6-ish, if you like.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So if we look, this is a form. Okay. It's a form. Okay. So what if we were to be able to build this with a foundation form? Okay. Okay. So let's replicate it. So it's just a form. Okay. And come on. Oh, and TR left. Okay, guess we don't have to manage him. And then we have, let's see, method post class cartloom add to cart. Interesting. I don't give you the ability to do that, do I? Interesting. All right, let's do. Okay, let's do it a different way. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna go into starter pack and use this bad boy, which is kind of a cool doodad. Let's get rid of that. All right. So here, all I'm going to do is I'm going to get this cart, the form, form. Okay. And I'm going to put that here. Okay. And then down here, I'm going to put in the close form tag. Okay, so that is my cart loom form. Okay. Now, let's look
What
at
stack is that? HTML. What's it say?
HTML wrap.
Wrap.
It's in my starter pack.
Okay, I need to get
Okay.
the starter pack then, I
Yeah,
guess.
it's free.
Okay.
Okay. It's a super useful stack. I've been using it. I kind of forgot about it for years, and it's been around for a while. But now, and when I redid it for the starter pack, I was like, you know what, this stack's kind of cool. So, okay, so now we need to add our fields. All right, so let's look at this. We have labels, and then we have input. So we have our radio button. Okay. So let's go ahead and we're going to go into foundation. We're going to add a radio button. Radio. All right. And then let's see. The field name is going to be OT0. Okay. Not sure why OT, but we're just going to copy that. Okay. Label is small. And then value is small. Okay. Labels small, value small. Right. Right. And then
Oh, I see. Option 0, option 1, option 2. That's what they're doing.
I think so. Here, you know what? To make this a little easier, I'm just gonna this text size, even for me, is fucking tiny.
Yep, you just got demonetized.
Yeah, I'll shoot.
Oh, this is being recorded, so I'll be able to go back and catch all this. Okay.
Exactly. Yeah, it's all recorded.
Cool.
All of it.
All right. There we go.
I gotta go, guys.
All right. See you later, Scott.
See ya.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So let's look at all this jazz. That's just pretty. Hold on. All right. Whatever. All right. So we have a label. We have an input. All right. All right. I don't need this paragraph. I'm just trying to clean this up a little bit so we can see it, because what he has here is a little confusing. All right, then he has his button, which that's fine. Well, I know what the button is. All right, there we go. I'm a stickler for, look, that looks so much prettier, Mike. Jesus. Okay. All right, so we have, now we can clearly see everything. We have a bunch of we have some hidden fields, some radio fields, and a couple more hidden fields. Okay. So we need to replicate all of that. Okay. So here we have OT0. So we have it. Let's do all the hidden fields. We started the radio, so let's do those. So it was OC0 for small, medium, large. Okay, let's do that. All right, so yeah, see, I did that wrong. Good thing we did this. So OC0 is small. Okay, and then we're just gonna copy and paste that twice. And then this one is medium, medium. This one is large. Oops. That's not what I wanted. Large, large. Okay. And then we had, all right, so now let's look at all these hidden fields. There's 3 hidden fields that we need. Okay. Now yours could be slightly different. You might have more like your PID, your cart loom ID is going to be different. I never set a price. So obviously my price is 0. Yours is going to be whatever your price was, right?
Right.
Okay. So I'm going to use a hidden field. Okay. So in here we have cart is add. So cart is the name, add is the value. Then we had PID. Okay. Then we had PID. Oops. Just product ID. Right. And I'm going to copy and paste that. Then we had one more, which was cost. Okay. 0. Okay. So that has all of our fields now. Now we have all the radio button and the hidden fields. Right. Now we need a button. Well, this is just a form. So I'm just going to use the submit button. And okay. And we can make this style it however we want, right? You can do it hollow, you can do a radius, you can, do a success color, however you want to style a button, you can style a button. Okay. And let's see, this should work. Oops. Something else is off on that. I think I have some JavaScript issue here. Let me clean up this page so we have, I don't need all this stuff on here. Oops, I deleted too much. Didn't need that. I don't need that. I don't need this. I don't need CMS Core. But simplify the page. That's all we got. She's on the page. Oh, I forgot I need to have I still need the cart loom snippet. I deleted that. That's why it wasn't working. So this would then go, I'll chuck it in an HTML stack, but you'd probably put it like somewhere in the, in the body somewhere, right? Or it'd be honest, it'd probably go here, right there.
Right.
Right. Okay. So I'll check it on here though. Let's see. Boom. Oh, well, my item didn't have any inventory. So I didn't fully set up that product, right?
Yeah.
We saw it was
I got it.
okay. So now this form, like by default, radios are in line, right? So the way to kind of get around that is, let's just we can chuck the button in like in a container, right? And just make that sizing auto no wrapper. That way, maybe you like these in line, and then you have the add to cart there.
So if you wanted them on top of each other, you just put them in a container with the 3 columns.
Yeah, that, or actually, I think I have a No, yeah, you would have to put them in a container each. So if you wanted them on top of each other, you would just chuck them inside of a container.
Each
Right.
one in a container.
Each one, yeah, exactly.
Joe, is that not the inline radio check button there? What's that for?
Oh, yes. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Sean. Look at that. Yeah, good job. By default, I have them in line, and you can uncheck that to make it display block. So the easier way is just to uncheck inline. Then Sean's the winner today. See? There we go. And then
Sweet.
you probably wouldn't need the button inside your container either.
Right.
Oh, and maybe it failed because I didn't have small. So you want small checked by default, right? Or whatever. So make sure that one option is checked. So when you click add to cart. Oh, well, again, I still think my I didn't do anything with the product. So I don't have any inventory or nothing, right? So, but you see it is working.
Right. Can you download, can you send me that page, or is that something in a?
Sure, I can send you that. Again, so the only thing inside that HTML wrap is this form. So basically HTML wrap allows you to put in some HTML above and below. And then it kind of wraps the content, right? So basically what it is, I just took this form here, okay? And then the closing form tag, that's on the top and the bottom. Right. So you have your opening form tag, your closing form tag, and then we build out all of our options here.
And I noticed that. So you selected all three of those stacks at once and clicked uncheck.
Yeah. Yep. So that was.
I didn't know you could do that. Okay.
Yeah. So if you want to change the setting, it has to be the same stack, right? So I know all these. I can select multiple and change something about them all at the same time.
Huh.
Right. So again, I can just select all of them, say I want them inlined. Now what's kind of cool is if you noticed, this first checkbox is checked, the other ones are not checked, right? But when I select all three and I uncheck this, it only changes what you've changed.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So very cool. Now, what's powerful about this is now that we're using, now there's pluses and minuses to this. The pluses are you can now style this however you want, right? You have full control. Okay. The downsides are that, I guess this would be a downside regardless. If you modify the product somehow, if you add new options, you're gonna have to update this. But you'd have to update the snippet anyway, because the snippet has all those new options, right? So I guess,
and usually if you start modifying this now, you could have like SVG images instead of the radial. You can customize it to have images of each size. Like if there's a different visual image, you can heavily modify those radios. I'm actually doing that on one of mine.
Now, if you just wanted this, and then just use a button. Let's say you only wanted to customize the button. You didn't want to have to deal with creating these radios and the hidden data. Okay, let's do that. Let's go even simpler, right, for us. So basically, the only thing I don't want is the button. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna copy all of this actually from here up. Okay, and I'm gonna put that inside my wrapper.
Can you send me that file like you got it though before you change it?
Here, I'm gonna copy paste. So we have two examples.
There you go.
Okay, so I'm going to paste that in there. Okay, and then I'm going to delete all this other stuff that I created. And now this is another option. Okay, so basically, I pasted all of the form snippet minus the button. And as you see that here, we have the Cartloom form stuff is inside there. Okay. And then, but I'm using my submit button, right? And let's make sure that that works too. All right, same thing, right? But it does work.
Yeah.
Okay. So 2 options. This one's a little less work, but this one gives you a little bit more control and simplicity. You know, yeah, gives you more control.
Yeah, the second option, you can go in there and play with padding between the radio buttons.
Yeah,
and
you can
that
do all
kind of
kinds.
stuff.
Yep, exactly. A full control
Right.
over every individual thing.
Right. Which is what I'm fighting right now. So that'll fix that. Yeah.
Yep. Now, just for fun, I am curious. I want to see if I can do away with the HTML wrapper altogether. So I want to try. I'm going to do it with this form thing again. If I do a form, I'm going to copy all of this here in there. And then the form has a class of, I'm going to do this. Cart link, add to cart. What happens if I just do that? Let's see. That was this third one. That didn't work. Interesting. I don't think I allow you to define a custom action in a form. 1 second. Look at my code here. Nope. Not possible right now. Not possible right now. Could be something nice I could add in an update though. I could agree with that.
So what is it you were wanting to try to do?
I wanted to see if I could use the Foundation 6 form stack instead of having to use this HTML wrap stack.
Ah, okay.
So basically the form, I don't have the form tag requires you have this action attribute, and my form stack doesn't allow you to add that attribute.
Mhm.
And it's required. So
Right.
I thought maybe if I just added the class, it would get, because the only thing unique about this is the product ID. I thought maybe it would get it from this hidden data, but it doesn't. So,
Right.
So yeah, that's not going to work. It's too bad. But let me go ahead and you know what? Freaking this app is annoying sometimes. Okay. All right, boom. I'll chuck this download link into the chat.
Awesome. Thank you, Joe.
No problemo. Josh, you're slowly zooming in.
It's the center stage on the iPad. I'm in another Zoom call on my computer, so I didn't want to kill that call.
Sweet. Well, guys, we went over almost an entire hour. So yeah. Anything else
pack
before
I
we
can
call it
download
quits
for
today?
free.
I'm
You
sorry,
want,
say
I
that
can
again?
give you
Ryan?
The starter pack I can download on Weaver Space.
Yeah, Weaver Space is free.
Okay, cool.
Okay, thanks, Joe. It was a good night.
Cool.
again.
Sweet, guys. Take care. Everyone have a good night.
Thanks,
Yeah.
everybody.
Everyone.